So, so here we are, a couple of scuffs, but still the handsome devil himself, Mr. Tyler. How you holding up, my man? How you getting on?
Yeah, I'm all right. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, I'm good.
So, a lot to talk about, but first and foremost, I want to say congratulations. And I say congratulations very literally
For what?
for the event, get yourself stuck in. So the nature of where you're at, what
Yeah.
the big changes you've made, you put yourself in this position where you make it apparent how much you're training, how much you're investing in something. And the nature of investing so much into something, it's a big risk to then put yourself out there. And this is why people who don't appreciate competition and competitors really, they don't get it. Like, it's all well and good being as prepared as you are to step in there, but you also have to perform like you prepared no matter what you have. You start doubting yourself and everything else. So yeah, a lot of congratulations for taking that step up and getting stuck in. So first and foremost, let's not forget that. Regards of the fight itself, we'll go into it from the word go. What did fight day look for you? How did you feel on the day itself, mentally, physically? What was going
on? Strange actually. Normally I get a lot of nerves before a fight, like through the whole day and stuff. Not really too much the night before or the week before. It's just on the day, like lots and back and forth to the toilet, that kind of thing. But it only sort of kicked in like literally half an hour before. I think maybe, because yourself, everyone that fights, like, because we've been that long outside of it, like, and we've not managed to get it done. So it's like 2 years almost since my pro debut. Like, it would have been 2 years in September. So, like, I'm not experienced that for a while. So it was like almost a new feeling fight day. Apart from the fact that I've done it like so many times before, like been there with teammates or myself, like it sent like a whole new feeling over again. So it was strange. Like, I didn't really get nervous until like half an hour, maybe an hour before, and I'm like, oh shit, we've got a fight now. But apart from that, like, I felt
I've got a fight. Like, that's what these gloves are for. I wonder what was happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing here.
Okay, I was lined up to. But no, with the whole nature of this, one thing I wanted to go into is obviously the camp you've been with. You've got a mix of different experiences, guys of much more experience. For example, Jack Grant, someone fighting for a world title, someone who's had 20 plus pro fights. Obviously, yourself having your second pro fight. Regards of standards you're setting yourself, regards of performance, everything else. How did you find that throughout the camp to try to, I don't know, look up, but also remember how far you are? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I look up to them guys, like I've said it before, like in the posters, like a few guys that are younger than me in the gym, but they've achieved more than me. So it's and I'm a big believer in you can learn things off for anyone, don't matter their age and stuff. If they've got more experience than you, then you can learn from even people less experience as well. You can still learn from them, don't get me wrong. But like, just I don't like, like, I don't know, you walk into like a supermarket or something and like there's an old guy and he expects you to like respect him just because he's older than you. Like, I don't know, it's I respect people who deserve respect, not just because they're older than me or whatever. Like, if they've done things that deserves the respect, then I respect them. And I think that's very much like our team. They've all like, they do respectful things, and they're really good athletes in their own right and stuff. So,
I mean, this is something like you said that I like that a lot, because this is that kind of entitlement that, for example, we say jiu-jitsu, say you get the higher grades, you should respect me. Yeah. Oh, I could smash you. Said, could you? Could you really?
Yeah, I don't get that.
Well, like rolling with higher grades, you're like, I won that round. I don't know. Is that meant to happen?
Yeah, I think so. I look at a few different things. I think in training, you can't actually win training because, like, okay, I've had like good rounds where I've come off like, if you like, second best, but then I've had rounds where I've come off top side, but you don't know like how hard they're trying, what they're if they're trying some new stuff. So I never take it into account, like if I've like done okay against, like I'm a black belt myself, but if I've done okay against another black belt, or I've like submitted a black belt a few times, like I might get submitted by a blue belt or something. Like, it's just training, it don't matter. But what matters is like when you compete, you're going in there like your A game, or at least you should be. Like, everything should be tried and tested in training. So that's where you do lose them rounds. So when you actually fight, you do have to try things, I guess, but in situations, and in the moment, but you should have already tried and tested stuff by then. So like some people come off to me and they're like, oh, like, I don't know how good he was and stuff. And I was like, well, maybe he wasn't trying to just smash you. Just because you was trying to smash him, it don't mean he was trying to smash you. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. Like, people probably got off around with me and think, fucking hell, he's shy. And they might still think that if I was going A game, but I might have not been getting A game. I might have just been trying something new.
But that's something that's really, I like that a lot. It's people don't get. It's like, how many rounds have you sparred collectively in your entire career? It's like thousands upon thousands. You don't know how good you are. How could anyone else know how good you are? You know what I mean? It depends what day it is. Depends how you show up. Depends who's there.
Yeah, and
you know
there's that many different variables in MMA. That's why I like it as well. It's like, if someone's better at boxing than you and you're actually boxing with him, like, I think it's quickly becomes quite obvious, like, who's better. Like, you don't even know that much about the sport. Like, you can see who's getting hit more, who's getting heavy shots. MMA, like, all of a sudden, like, you can be taking a bit of a beat and then you can just take him down, submit him, or get to your feet and knock him out or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of different variables in MMA. I think that's why I prefer it. Like, over all the combat sports there is to choose from, I prefer that one.
I mean, the nature of all this sort of stuff, I think it's just the stupidest argument. I think it was Max Holloway and Calvin Cater. It was like, I'm the best boxer in the UFC. It says, what the fuck does that mean? Why are you not the best MMA fighter in the UFC? What the fuck does that mean? You know what I mean? It's a bit like, I get the idea that you want to be the best at a certain area, but surely you want to be the best at the sport you're doing. I don't really get that. It's a little bit, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. There's all people make these claims and stuff, and it's not really a thing you can claim because it's non-existent. It don't exist. Like, just basically what you said, it's just a different sport.
Exactly that. One thing I wanted to sort of go into with yourself, obviously the nature, said a minute ago, the guys at different levels, guys competing all the time. So in the camp you're at then, obviously you had the Cage Warriors trilogy, you had like Justin Burley, Jack and everyone else competing. But your fight wasn't until weekend just gone. What's been the energy like in the camp itself? Obviously, the nature of building up for a big fight, the aftermath, and then sort of, I don't know. Then it's your fight. How did you find peaking for the right sort of time as well with everything going on?
Yeah, so I get enjoyment out of watching like my teammates win and stuff. I'd say almost as much as my own. So like, although I've been with Four Corners like 6 months now, I think probably 7 months soon. Like, quit my job, left my old gym. I'm still really close with my old gym. I'll oddly visit. Weekends I'll visit back home, and I'll train with them. Some guys I'll teach a little bit as well, like just for a bit of money and stuff, because I've quit my job now, so it can be difficult financially. But it's I think I peaked at the right time. Like, I literally said, like, I had no niggles, no excuses going to that fight. Like, I was the best version of myself in that fight. Like, I'm not saying I performed the best I could perform, because if I had done that, I don't think I would have lost, like, quite spectacular way. But fair play to my opponent. He was a good guy, and he caught me clean. But like I say, it's all good. Like, the energy around I think, because, do you know, when you're at home, like, say your gym or whatever, like, you'll come home, you'll go and train and then come home, see your family and stuff. Like, we're living in the gym, so we train, we'll come back, shower, like, cook together, like, chill and stuff. So it's sort of like never ending. Like, even the days you can't be asked to train, like, don't worry, there's plenty of them. Like, and you just think, well, you've got to train just because everyone else is. So I think it's really good motivation as well, being actually, like, and especially, like, we've got guys who's like in the UFC, like, touching the doors of the UFC, like top ends of Cage Warriors. So, like, there's no better place than I'd rather be, really. Like, there's no other place. Like, I sort of went in at the deep end, and I've been dragged up a little bit, like, up to this like level. I'm not at their level yet, but I'm getting there. I'm getting dragged up with them. Just a shame I didn't get to share while I was there on Saturday, of course. But it's always I'm like, I don't suffer losses too much. Like, a new day is the day after. Like, winning and losing don't last long. That's why you get addicted and do it again, really. Like, if you win and that feeling lasts forever, people might not fight again. And same with losing, but I think it lasts a really small amount of time. It's like, it's I don't know, it is addictive. Like, you wanna win. Like, nah, although, like, I'm a bit knocked up at the moment. I'm not too bad, but I'm a bit knocked up. Like, everyone's like, oh, do you want to go out and do this, go out for meals and stuff? And all I want to do, honestly, is go back in there and straight and fight. Like, although I got knocked out fairly bad, like, but it's one of them things. Like, it's a tough sport.
I mean, there's so much in this to go into, but again, another sort of congratulations for yourself for taking that step to take this full time, and not just full time, but live in and make this literally your full-time hours of training and living as well. Because again, it's the whole thing is you get people who, I'm not going to name names, but I didn't have the things because of this, the excuses. You're the one taking that step to make it plausible, make it work, make it functional. That's not easy.
Yeah.
You're making that work. So again, a lot of respect for that. And the nature of training with other people, it's the people you're surrounded by. There's the whole quote. It's, if you're with a group of losers, you'll be the other one. If you're a group of successful people, you'll be the other one. And so on and so forth. Like, being around these people, like, yeah, you're not on their level yet, but not being funny, you're going to get there a lot quicker being with them than you would with, people who aren't on that caliber. And this is the point. You're learning from everything they're doing to you is something they've had mistakes and learn. And somebody layers to their level, which is why you'll level up much more efficiently, because they've taken more mistakes, they've made more mistakes than you. And that's the beauty of what you're doing there. And this is something I want to really, really resonate with this point. The fact you got stuck in, full stop. Result aside is another thing, but the fact you got stuck in is a fantastic start. And the reason for that is, being with these guys, you'll never feel, you'll want to be the nail a lot, just for the nature of the environment you're in. And being the nail doesn't feel very confident, you know what I mean? So then it's trying to be like, okay, when am I ready? When am I ready? I want to be on these guys' level. I want to be up here. But you don't know even where you're at unless you get stuck in. And then you become that gym guy who's like always trying to progress, but never competes out of fear of not being ready, whatever ready means. And then it's that kind of, you get your reference points. And that's why I've got so much respect for it. Because again, it's so tempting to be like, fuck, I'm expecting to be this world beater now, I expect to be this next level. And you are. But again, it takes that time to get that experience, which is what those guys have. They are where they are, and they're going to get where they're going to go because of their experience. And
I think, sorry to interrupt you, but I think like, no one's got more expectations than my actual self in there. Like, whatever everyone expects. Like, some people are saying about this guy, like, oh, you'll be too much for him. And like, yeah, honestly, I thought I was. Like, it sounds ridiculous now because I got stopped in the first round, but going into the fight, and it's not that I underestimated him, not that at all. I knew he was good, and this was one of the possible outcomes that would happen. I just didn't think it was. Like, if you go in the fight thinking you're going to lose, you might as well not fucking bother. Like, what I was going to go back to is, like, when I first got here at the gym, I was like, oh, I'm doing all right. Like, I've had like 10 amateur welterweight fights. Like, I've lost some and won some, but I did all right. Fought my pro debut welterweight, like, felt good. Like, I think I got a split decision. I think everyone, the rounds was close, and but I got it. And then I got there and I was like, holy shit, like, I got 4 corners. I was like, okay, I'm not a welterweight. And the guy was telling me as well, he was like, I'm not being like rude to you, but you're not a welterweight, you're a lightweight, which I knew about. My old team said that to me, but do you know when you're working full time and stuff, you can't, it's hard to sort of like,
well, this is the point. This is where, like,
eating at the right times.
Sorry to interrupt. This is where that point is. That's exactly where that point is. It's like, okay, because working full time, because living your life, making it more efficient in the fighting element of your life, you have to prioritize. You have to split your everything, your energies. Now you
Yeah.
realize if you want to go priority with this, that's the sacrifice to make there. But again, you couldn't make that with your other commitments. So yeah, sorry, Karen.
Yeah, exactly that, Dan, to be fair. Yeah, you're right there. But yeah, then when I got there, I was like, oh, I'm doing all right. Like, not know everything, because you never know everything. But I was like, oh, I'm doing all right. Training's going good and stuff. And then I got there and I was like, holy shit, like, as good as what I thought I was, I'm nowhere near that level. The only problem is, like, train there for 6 months, like, going through a few camps with Jack. Like, I've not been Jack's main training partners, but I've been in the mix. Like, I've done rounds with him, with Justin, with Mark Casey, like all the guys. Like, it's not like I'm putting like a nursery group to one side, like, and they're just sparring together. I'm actually with them guys and train with them all the time. So I knew where my level sort of at, or sort of what I predicted at, and I didn't get to show what I'm capable of. That might happen for a few fights, but I think I've not got quit in me, so I think it will come round eventually. I know it will. Like, it's just like I say, there's so many different variables on a fight. Like, personally, like, it sounds stupid saying this, but I thought I was going to beat him within one round. And he beat me within half a round. So it seems ridiculous to say that, but that's honestly how I thought the fight was going to go. And it was not me being cocky, because I'm definitely not a cocky guy, but I'm just confident in what I've been doing and what my team's been doing around me. That's what I expected in myself, regardless of what anyone else saw or expected.
Well, let's take it back a few steps anyway. A few things with that.
Yeah.
One thing is, for a bit of peace of mind, is everything you've done in 6 months will never be able to fit in those 15-minute windows. You know, if you had this absolute bell to bell, everything in the arsenal, that wouldn't compare to a fraction of what you put into it. So again, you know this is for you. The result depends on the night, depends on the opponent, loads of variables. And again, it's not big head in the slightest. You trained, prepared, and aimed to win confidently. Why wouldn't you? Who's a dickhead if you're like, oh, I'll give it a go? What's that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What kind of attitude's that? It's, I'm going in there to fucking clobber this dweeb. You don't care if he's better than you or not. It doesn't matter. You're preparing to do it properly, and that's the nature of it. So don't caveat whatever you're doing, man. You're doing really well. And this is the nature of why this is so important to really highlight, is you're putting this time and you're putting yourself in these positions. This fight wouldn't have existed if you didn't switch camps. You'd have fought welterweight against either a guy not anywhere near the opponent's level you had now, or maybe a better guy. And regardless of result,
I think it would have been against Dan Etworth, and I would smash it, by the way.
But this is kind of my point. If you become like a 4-0 welterweight fighting people who aren't on that level, who's that for? Who the fuck's that for? That's not a real Danny Tyler. That's a guy who's got a padded record then. Would you rather be a guy with a bit of a mixed record at lightweight fighting the best of the best? People know the levels. You know the levels. You try and fucking look in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm 5-0 king when I'm fighting cans. Now you want to be the man fighting toughest. And this is why it's a lot of respect.
Yeah, I think
don't sell yourself short.
No, anytime I've fought, I've never fought anyone shit. Like, they've all been good people. Like, they've all had like either winning records or a similar record to me, like where they've fought decent people and just got them off like 50-50. But yeah, I never, and even my next fight, like, okay, I've just come off a loss. It would be easy to take like a bit of a give me fight, but I don't want that. I'd rather fight someone as good as the last guy, or even better, just because I could win that fight. I did it on the fight night, and I don't want to take anything away from Connor. Like, he was a good opponent, and to be fair to him, like, when he actually caught me with his shots that actually knocked me out, like, he just stood off and walked away, where I could have been in a worse situation now if he carried on with some ground and pound. So he could have got at least 1 or 2 before the ref jumped in. So, like, fair play to him. We spoke after, and he was sound. We had a laugh. Like, I'm not one to I always take the piss out myself before anyone else can anyway, or as bad as anyone else can. So yeah, respect to Connor. I think he's going to go quite far. Like, yeah.
But
I want to fight someone good again. The next time I fight, I'm not I'd refuse if someone offered me like one of these journeymen. I'd be like, no, there's fucking no point at all. It's like an insult, like if someone asked you to fight one of them, in my opinion.
Well, definitely. And again, I'm not going to go into it too much because it will hurt some feelings, but we'll go without naming names. It's very much like I said a minute ago. It's who's it for? The reason I say who's it for is because you know what it's like selling tickets to a fight. You know, asking your friends and family to spend 25, 30 plus quid on the ticket. Watch me, I'm training so hard for this fight. Like anyone seen your social media for your last fight, like he's grinding, he's put loads of time in, so I want to support that. But if you knew it was for a can you're going to walk through, oh, that doesn't sit right with me. Some people are happy with that. That doesn't sit right. I don't know. It's not. It doesn't need to be some sort of world beer, but you know, at least a challenge, at least something you actually need to prepare for, opposed to some sort of show. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So we won't piss too many people off just yet. We'll get there. So a couple of questions.
If you want, I don't mind.
Don't worry, we'll get there at some point. We won't burn the bridges just yet. We'll do it when we, have a bit more fun with it. So the nature of the camp switch, so obviously Alliance Derby, a lot of really good people there, high level. But the nature of this change to pure MMA, this big change again, going from Derby to Liverpool, Four Corners.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What inspired this change, and what caused? I don't know. It's because it's a big commitment as well. What was that transition period like?
So basically, I was looking for. So I got Cage Warriors that would take it right back to like a year and a bit ago. Like, do you know the first Cage Warriors before the trilogy? It was like in March before the virus. I don't know if you remember.
I've got a ticket for that fight.
Say again. So, yeah. I was matched on there with my old team. So under government guidelines, we could still train in that sort of bollocks. And so we did. And then that got cancelled because it was like 2 weeks after the virus started, or don't quote me on that, but around about there. So that got cancelled.
March 20th.
They said they were going to move it. And then I don't know, like this Corona thing was going to be like, I've heard enough, so I don't want to bore people to death about it, but like, because I'm bored myself of it. But like, it's supposed to last 2 weeks for a 2-week lockdown or something. And then like, here we are, like over a year later and stuff. But anyway, so I got that fight. But then it was when I didn't have that fight, I was the only pro fighter at our gym, so we couldn't train. And there's more. I like my old gym at Alliance Derby. It's like pretty much on like a residential like estate. So there's like a lot of like busybodies around all the time. So people saw you going in the gym and stuff, and like they didn't say anything, but like it wasn't fair on my coach. You know, like if we got like fined or whatever, and he had to foot the bill or something. So he says, I don't want you going in the gym. And I was like, yeah, that's fair enough. So I messaged a few gyms that was that had fighters on. Like I messaged Mason Jones and a few other people. Like I didn't expect to like go straight in with their click, but I thought, well, I'm not fucking doing anything else, so I might as well. Of course, I was a barber as well, so we'd just been furloughed from work, so I wasn't even working. So what I actually did, I messaged a few people. Some of the guys like Mason Jones even got back to me and he said, yeah, you can come and join us, but not until the virus is over. And I was like, oh, cheers, but that's not really what I wanted. A few guys at Manchester top team, Carl Prince, he was really sound with me, but again, it was just too far to travel. Like it would have cost me like £300 a week in fuel to like to go there, like to train as much as I needed to. So I went down there once, met a few people down there. They was really nice guys, and they've got some good fighters as well. And then I messaged Justin Burleson. I've always been a fan of Justin anyway. I've actually competed against him in grappling like years ago.
How'd you go?
And I just weather's nice. Nah. To be fair, I'm fucking smashing Justin. Then he caught me with some weird armbar shit.
It doesn't count.
I always joke about it when we roll. I was like, oh, this position seems familiar. Like,
I thought I won the first 4 rounds, so the last one doesn't count or something. The first 4 minutes.
But so it was mad because I messaged Justin like saying, "Oh, can I join your bubble?" And he's like, "Yeah, come and live here if you want." And I was like, "Fuck, I didn't mean like that. I just meant like I want to come train." And anyway, long story short, I went down to Liverpool, took a bag down there. It's, to be fair, within a few weeks of training down there, I thought if I want to carry on professionally and like see how far I can get, I need to be with these guys. Like what I liked it was like the wrestling. Like I don't know how you are with wrestling, but when I used to wrestle, it must have been like maybe a couple of rounds here and there wrestling. Like we actually have dedicated wrestling sessions where it's hard. It's like if you're not good at wrestling, like you're either going to get good or you're going to walk off the mat because it's hard. It's like just freestyle wrestling and people getting like you're getting took down like hard, and then we're having situational sparring and stuff. And some of the sessions are like at least an hour and a half, like 2 hours. So you might that 2 hours you might have like loads of rounds, and everyone's knackered. And if you're not good already, you're just going to be dead and knackered. So that highlighted it for me that I didn't really train wrestling as hard as what I have been doing at Four Corners. Don't get me wrong, like my jiu-jitsu and stuff, that's always stood whichever gym I've visited. And I fought against some of the top guys in the UK, so I've always been able to hold my own in that respect. But yeah, I thought if I actually want to make a go at this, I need to stay here full time. And then John Gillis, who's like the head coach at Four Corners, he like just took me under his wing really and says, "Look, if you want to come and like pack a big bag Monday and just stay here." And I was like, "Fucking hell, I'm not sure about that. Like, got my job and stuff." And he's like, "Well, offers there and stuff." So I spoke to my old coach and stuff, and I've been good mates with him for years anyway, and worked for him, at the barber shop. So he was really understanding, even about it all, and he wished me all the best, and he sort of said that he did think that might happen at some point. So fair play, but like I've still got a lot of time for him and all the guys. Like they've put a lot of years into me, and I don't want to forget where I started either.
Well,
but I like to think
this is something. Sorry, I thought come on.
No, I like to think I have come on a lot since joining Four Corners. Like a hell of a lot. I think. Hopefully, I'll show it in my next fight anyway. Like I wanted to show it this one, but shit happens. But I'll show it in my next one. Sure.
Again, like we're saying there, like you won't be able to show everything you've put in this one fight window.
Yeah.
But the nature of who you are, how you carry yourself, again, your evolution as a person. And this is where, I don't know, that was one of the most respectful transitions I could have thought. Like if you were to draw out how you could transition from gym to gym in the most respectful way possible, that would be that. But no, a lot of time for that. And this is the nature of it. Like you're saying there, like you're the only pro at that gym, or maybe a couple of other AMI fighters. And this is the problem when you can get to work to an extent. Some places can do it, some people can't. Where if you're I'm going to say the best guy, just for example's sake, and again, without people getting upset, you know what I mean? You're the one who's setting the standard, whereas now you're the one who's trying to catch up to the standard. So you're growing, you're evolving, and if you're spending most of your classes helping people, it's all very noble. But you're the one with the fight. You're the one who's got progress. So that kind of transition makes way more sense. And also with numbers. So, for example, the smaller facilities where you haven't got the amount of sparring partners, it's okay, let's see who shows up today. Maybe we've got a couple of bodies, maybe a couple of beginners. Whereas now, you have because I think, oh, is Jack Grant fancy rest day? Oh, God, that's all right, mate. Don't worry, you get comfy, you're fine, mate. Don't worry. Mark as well, yeah, you guys just play some wars on, you're fine. I'll find some white belts to be all right. You say, yeah. You've got so many guys at high levels.
Yeah, that's it. I think I struggled with the move initially, because I'm a loyal person, and I find it hard. I find it hard just to leave. Not someone as such, but a whole team. It's like, oh shit, I'm going away from you and joining a new team. But I think it was sort of probably only me looked at it like that. Everyone else, all my teammates and stuff, they said they were sad for me to go, but they was actually happy that I was sort of going to progress my career and stuff. Like I think it was for the best, and I'll argue that point with anyone, even if I would lose my next 5 fights, I still think it's the best thing I've done. And for myself as well, like I'm really happy training, like happy living there and stuff. Like I do just love it. But yeah, as what you said before, like before I was like having to, like we had some good guys that we sparred with, especially in like the jiu-jitsu and stuff, like, and even the MMA, we had a few good strikers and stuff. I don't for 1 minute I was the best guy there. I just think I was the most experienced. Is probably I'm further down the path. But like now we've got everything under one roof. Like I can literally get raped at grappling in my gym, raped at striking, raped at wrestling. Like
a
I think in my old gym, way with words like, but I think the only thing that I would say I was best at my old gym is like my cardio. Like I always found my cardio was probably better than everyone's. Now it's like it's only middle of the pack. It's not the best. I'm not like blowing everyone away with cardio. Like people can keep up and push more than me. So that's what I need. But yeah, I think now we've got everything under one roof. Like we've got a really good strength and conditioning guy there, called Jake. He's so good. He does a lot with all of us and the athletes, and like even stuff like before, like I wanted to train in the mornings and stuff. Obviously, people's got jobs and stuff, so you can't always get there. But like now, we'll like run the hills in the morning and that sort of stuff. Like I live in the gym, so if I fancy doing pads or like hitting a bag or something, literally I can go downstairs and do that. Or there's going to be someone there that wants me to pad them, or that will pad me or whatever. So it's just so good. Like you never struggle for training partners. And we get like talking about sparring. Like we used to get people come to our gym at Derby, and we used to go like to other places as well. But like now at Four Corners, like when there's fights coming up, like every Tuesday and Thursday is like sparring day, and we'll get people from like everywhere just turn up. It's like a bit of a hub. And I think it's only been like an MMA gym for maybe like a year or something. And let's face it, like pretty much all that's been through lockdown. So I think we will be one of the biggest gyms in the UK by the end of it, like at some point, because we've got that much to offer as a facility, and the coaches there like are really good. And now we've got like a lot of fighters there that are high level and stuff. So we're already getting like a lot of other people from teams and stuff saying like, oh, I want to come and train. You've got to be careful not to poach people, like that they do it on their own accord. Because I'd never like poach people and say, oh, you want to set your team off to come with us. Like but what I want is for people to get the best training they think they can. And I think at Four Corners is where it's at. So.
I mean, this is something that gets misinterpreted quite a lot because, again, you wouldn't be there. You wouldn't have committed what you have if you didn't believe it was the best place. So for you to say it to someone else, that always comes from a very sincere place. And again, it always gets a little bit, he said, she said, and this, that, and the others, and everyone gets a bit fucking upset about nothing. But this is what I like about what you got there. That door mechanic, I think, is so game-changing. Because like you said there, people have got their jobs, they've got commitments. I can't keep a lights on if I've got my job. If I've got my job, I can't train in these hours and so on and so forth. But the nature of living in the gym, getting the hours in, working around stuff. And again, you get rid of that distraction. It's almost like the Ultimate Fighter kind of house, that kind of idea that.
Yeah, a lot of people come and say that, and they come in and they're like, oh my God, it is like the Ultimate Fighter. And it pretty much is, it's, but instead of like competing against each other, we're all in it together, because me, Justin and Jack was talking about like this jiu-jitsu competition. And was all like talking about it, and even like down to that, where it's like, oh, I'll go in it this weight, you go in it this weight. So we all like, even though we're all sit around the same weight, the they're a bit heavier than me, like they fight welter, but we could all make the same sort of weights if we wanted to. But we was all like planning it out strategically, so we wouldn't be in each other's group and stuff. So it's quite cool, like how we've got it down there. Like,
well, it's good having that kind of understanding as well. Some gyms are a bit more, if we're in the same division. If it's, I don't know, if it's a bigger comp, it's sort of like, tough shit if you lose, I want this more than you do. But I don't know,
yeah,
having that kind of respect for each other, like, do you know what, this sort of thing's not that deep. Let's just go differently. We get all our goals, enjoy our little, I don't know, dessert afterwards and love life. Just cautious of time, don't want to keep you too long. Couple questions before I let you go.
Yeah, go for it.
First and foremost, I just want to ask everyone. So you're about to compete, you walk out, and then there's you. What advice do you give to yourself to compete with the best headspace?
Not my own advice, but something that I've sort of adapted and take on is just enjoy yourself. I think there's so many things to think about, and like everyone wants that perfect knockout and stuff. But if you're not enjoying yourself, I don't know why you're competing. Just because the incentives to do it are very little, apart from at the top, and to get at the top, like fucking 98, 96% of us will never actually get there anyway. So unless you're enjoying it, don't do it.
So
and it probably it kind of went off topicy question, but like, no, yeah, just enjoy it.
That's the point, though. You're trying to get your reference point to how you found the value in this. But before I go to my next question on the same sort of theme, was more your last fight weekend just gone. Were you enjoying any of it whilst we were going through with it?
Say again, sorry, Dan.
The fight itself, did you enjoy any of it when you were in there?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't. It was weird because when I come round, like, I saw it was weird. I've never been I've been TKO before, but I've never actually been like knocked out like that. And I was like, fuck, I know I've lost, and I think I've got knocked out, but I can't remember like step by step what happened. Like, there are a few bits where I can remember him just like elbowing my head in from man, and I was like, I can remember getting up and throwing a kick, and then like now I've watched it back, and before I watched it back, it sort of all pieced together. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Obviously, when I'm getting my head punched in, it don't look enjoyable, but it is. You know what? It is enjoyable.
That's good. As I say, it was more a case of if you were feeling different kind of energy going in there, a bit more tension or whatever. But no, it's good that you're loose with it. And yeah, getting knocked out's a really weird feeling. Like, I got knocked out my second fight, and it's like, in my head, I haven't lost the fight yet. It's still going. I'm waiting for round 2. It's like, I don't know what happened. It's like,
it was like a mad dream, and then you wake up and you're like, that's too mad to be real, but fucking a lot of it is real.
Oh, my head hurts. It's like, what?
Yeah.
That's it. Second question for your good self is, post-competition, win, learn, or draw, and all the cliches in between, what is the damage afterwards with regards to takeaways, desserts? What is the treat meal after the cut, after the camp, after everything?
It's always Domino's, to be fair. Like, pretty basic, but it does the job. Like Domino's. Yeah, and I love chocolate as well. So I got like a cheesecake as well. That was really nice, like a chocolate orange one. Family got me that. Got like hotel chocolate as well. That's not how you pronounce it. I don't really know because it's too posh for me. But yeah, that's it. But I got some of that. But the only problem is my jaw was in, so I was like, I couldn't really eat it. But I was like, I just still ate it anyway, even though it was painful.
Oh, you're true.
I still ate it. Yeah.
This is kind of it, though. When you say it's a bit basic, being a black belt, the fundamentals, you get them right, that's all you need. Like, if you get your pizzas right, you get your chocolate right, you don't need to make it overkill. You don't have to make it, this, that, and the other. You get it right, you get it right. Last question for your good self is, day one beginner walks in the gym, enthusiastic, full of beans. What advice do you give them to get started on the right foot?
Is like, I could go into massive detail in this, really, because obviously I do get people, and I do coach people from day one, beginners to like from beginners to actually having a few amateur fights. That's what I've done in the past. And I still do it at Four Corners. I still do whole pack coaching and stuff and teach as well. But I think it depends. The people that are all jumped up and like, oh, I want to fight and stuff, like they're the ones that end up not actually fighting. The ones that are like, oh, I just want to do it for a hobby, bit of weight loss and stuff. They're the guys that they'll go into the gym and they'll be like, no, I don't want to spar. The guys that, oh, I want to spar and stuff, as soon as it is sparring, they'll get touched a bit and they'll not want to spar anymore. The guys that don't want to spar, you'll sort of have to encourage them to spar. When they spar and they think, actually, I'm doing all right at this, then they're the guys that want to fight. So I think take things slow, like don't run before you can walk. Same as like philosophy of life, really. Just take it in. There's that much to learn. Like, I think, like, that's a problem. When I first started doing MMA, mates are like, we're all in the pub and stuff, and mates are like, oh, you're fighting soon. And you're like, you want to say, yeah, but realistically, it's going to be like fucking ages. And I don't know, people are like, oh, I want to fight and stuff. And you just need to, there's that much to learn. Like, yourself, like just one element at MMA, like BJJ, for example, like takes roughly 2 years to get a blue belt. Like I was blue belt before. I know you can get it a bit quicker these days, but I was a blue belt before I had my first MMA fight. My first MMA fight, I actually got submitted anyway, so it wasn't like I was
Danny Gracie.
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I still got submitted, even though I took 2 years to compete at it. So just take the time and enjoy it. Treat it as a hobby, and don't have any expectations. Like, I think if people are doing it for like money and stuff, they're doing it for the wrong reasons. Like, yeah, you know yourself. And I think anyone who does it, some people, like, they'll see me now and they'll say, oh, you got really good money. And it's like, no, I'm probably brokest I've ever been, but I'm the happiest I've ever been as well. So it's that trade-off.
Definitely worth it. And this is the nature of all this kind of stuff. And like you're saying there, it's all social media kind of thing, like, oh, training, doing all this. So when you're fighting soon, oh, you must be ready for a fight soon or whatever. And you're like, now I want to say yes. Now I feel weird for saying no. Now I feel like, oh, I should be further than I am. So who's that for?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And this is where you have to sort of, I don't know, have a conversation with yourself in that kind of ego checking. Because I've had this many a time. Friends ask me, oh, you ready for a fight? Dan does MMA fights. I'm not. Like, but white belt me thought, fucking, I've done a couple of pad combinations. I'm dangerous, chain me up. I'm, forced to reckon with. Nah, I ain't ready for anything. And it's just, I don't know. It makes sense in retrospect, but thank you for your time, my friend. Regards to shouts, sponsors and stuff. Anyone to, I don't know, give any noise to?
Yeah, I've got lots of sponsors and stuff. I've thanked them already. So I'm going to take opportunity to thank my teammates and helping me get a better athlete. So I'd like to thank everyone at Four Corners, people that actually compete, and just the guys in general. Like, there's loads of friends I've met through it that, okay, they're not always in the fighters class. They might be in the other classes, but they've just been so welcome and like want to take me out for food and stuff. And it's like I've got like a good relationship with them people, and I've literally known them like 6 months. But I think maybe because I'm a sound person to get on with, like, they've like put themselves out there for me, like trying to help me out as much as I can. John Gillers, that actually got me in here. I feel shit that I didn't get the win, but I don't think he's that bothered anyway. But I'm bothered. Eric, the other MMA coach, he's put a lot of time into me as well. Jack, Justin, all the regular guys at the fights, they've put time into me. So instead of thanking sponsors, I just want to thank people that helped me at that gym. And basically anyone that sponsors me out, with like bought tickets off me, bought the stream, like everything. But I just hope that everyone's still around when I go again, because hopefully within a few months I'd like to fight again. well, not hopefully, I'm going to fight again in a few months. So yeah, and hopefully I can put on a better performance than Saturday, but it's whatever now. It's gone.
This is it, though. And good on you for acknowledging the people putting that time and that energy in, because this is it. It's not just you fighting. Yes, it is you in the cage. Yes, it is you putting your risks in there. But
I always think it's one of the biggest team events that you can't see, if that makes sense. Like football the other night. Like I'm not a big fan of football, but I do like watching England. I watched it, and everyone's like easy to put the blame on and stuff, but you can see physically, like 11 people on the pitch or whatever, what they're doing. Like behind the closed doors, there's a lot of work that you'll know yourself because you fight, and a lot of people watching this that are interested in MMA know about it. But if say like I don't know, like
it's very surface level.
So
it's very surface level. Yeah. Did you win? Yes or no?
Yeah. And there's a lot of hard work from all the coaches, like the other teammates and stuff. So actually out there in the cage, yes, you are solo fighting, but I think it's a massive team sport because there's so many things that are factors like outside your actual fight that goes into it. But no complaints from me. Like I was as good as I could get ready for there. So it's mad actually what happened. But yeah, I think it's like probably one of the biggest team sports that you actually can't see.
100%. This is the point of why it's so important to give these people that praise in that time, because it's not just who was there in the corner on the night, who's the one actually competing. It's who got you ready there, who got you peaking, who helped you when you were struggling, who helped you make those mistakes, those corrections, and so on and so forth. And realistically, in a fight night, if you choose to zig instead of zag, that could be it. And that's realistically what we need to remember when it doesn't, your number's not up that night. Because you aren't the Danny Tyler who performed on Saturday. That is a reference point. That is it. Say we roll and then you do something stupid and accidentally I catch you. You smash the rest of the round.
Yeah.
You got caught early. It doesn't make any difference or anything. You wouldn't even think twice. Okay, it's all right. Let's get on with it. That's it. That's it. End of the conversation. But because this one spar was in a fight in a bigger environment, now you give it value. Same difference. You're still an absolute savage. Thank you for your time, my friend. Everyone listening.
Thank you. And,
check out Danny's socials. Show some support, show some love. Check out the podcast sponsors, The English Hypnotist. Rich has been absolutely game-changing in regards to the mental side. Again, I use him. My money's invested in him. I trust him. I believe in it. And it's made absolute levels of change. Good performance nutrition again. I use supplements every day. Dan Good's a very people-oriented person. Definitely worth it there. Fisticuffspodcast.com for all your merch. All loaded in there. But yeah, thank you very much, my friend. And on Instagram, you're Danny Tyler too, is it?
No, Danny TMMA. That is, thank you.
Perfect.
But yeah, good luck with your fight, Dan, and thanks for having me on here.
Absolute pleasure, mate.
And you're welcome. If you ever fancy coming down and train with us, come train with us. I think you'll enjoy it. But
you trying to poach me?
That's it. Huh?
You trying to poach me, are you?
Yeah, I'm trying to poach anyone. Yeah, if anyone not happy with the team or anything, come see us.
This is it.